All right, hopefully you have your artwork from last week and you have your crayons with you as well. You're going to need a couple of crayons. You're going to need a dark green, you're going to need a light green, and you're going to need a yellow, okay? And you're going to need a pencil as well, because there's some things we have to do first before we start coloring. The first thing we're going to do is draw a horizon line. And what that is a horizontal line that goes from the side of the paper to the other side of the paper. Horizontal lines go from side to side, if you remember. Now, if I draw my horizontal line at the bottom of my trees right here, I'll draw it kind of dark so you can see it. If I do it right there, everything that is below my line is the ground, and everything above that line is the sky. But look here, this is something that's wrong. Now I have a tree that is floating in the sky. I don't want that, so I need to move my horizon line. What I'm going to do is move it a little bit further up the page, and I'm going to draw a line, and I'm going to make sure I don't go through my trees because I want my trees to show up. All right, and I'm just going to draw it around my tree. So now there's my horizon line. All right, I'm going to take a moment and erase my first horizon line. And if you don't have an eraser, you might need one as well. So if you want to go ahead and get your eraser now's a good time to get it. Okay, from here on out, I want you to draw really, really, really light, okay? Don't want you to draw anything dark. On the horizon line, I'm going to draw, and it's going to be in between my trees, and it can come from one edge one way or the other way, but I'm going to draw a diagonal line from somewhere, and I'm going to do mine right in the middle. Yours might be towards an edge somewhere, but I'm going to draw a diagonal wiggly line all the way down through here, all the way down to the bottom of my page. Now, I'm going to do another wiggly line. I'm going to start at the same point, but as I come down the page, I'm going to get wider and wider as I come down the page. As I do a little wiggly line that comes all the way down, okay? Now I have my river right here. Now it's time to get ready for trees. Now remember, don't draw that very, very dark. I drew it dark so you could see it. Now I'm going to continue drawing dark, but I don't want you to draw dark. This is just to get an idea of where you want to put stuff. I'm going to start making clouds, but they're going to be attached to my tree. So on my first tree, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a group of branches, and I'm going to put a cloud around it. There's my first cloud. Now I got another set of right here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a big cloud around those trees. And my cloud's going off the paper because I want a big cloud around those branches. Well, I got another branch right here. I'll put a little smaller cloud around that one. And I got another little small one. I'll just do a little bitty small cloud around that one. And that's all I want you to do. Do the same thing for your other one. We're going to put some clouds around these branches right here. There's my other branches. I've got my clouds around my branches. That's where we're going to stop for right now and get ready to color. Here we go. I'm going to take my light green and I'm going to just kind of do little circles in the center of my clouds. And just color in little circles around in the center of your clouds. All right, so now you got something that looks kind of like that. I'll do these down here as well. Do the center of the clouds. All right, now I'm going to not press quite as hard, but I'm going to do the top of the clouds. But I'm not going to press really, really hard. I'm just going to just kind of do some circles and do it really light. All right, now, do I have to stay inside the clouds? No, I don't have to stay inside the clouds. But I'm going to color, just let it go wherever you want it to go. As Bob Ross said, you're making some little happy trees. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing down in towards the bottom. I'm gonna do some light green down at the bottom of my clouds. I'm not pressing quite as hard, and you may not be able to see a lot of the green in there, but I'm just do just really light greens down at the bottom. Okay. Now, we're gonna still work with the bottom. This time I'm gonna take my dark green, and I'm just gonna color in some spaces down here towards the bottom, but I'm not gonna color the whole thing in. I'm just gonna color certain spaces in here, okay? Towards the bottom of my tree, all right? And they're just little bitty dots of circles, all right? It doesn't go all the way all over the place, all the way across. It's just little bitty sections of darkness. And we'll put them on here wherever you want to put them at the bottom of your trees, all right? There's just little bitty sections. It's not one big line. We're just gonna put little bitty sections. Now with the yellow, same thing, is I'm gonna color just parts of the tops of the trees with my yellows, okay? And the same thing over here, just tops of the trees with the yellows. So now I have my deciduous trees, the leaves on my deciduous trees done. All right, go ahead and do your deciduous trees, and I'll give you a moment to catch up. This is a good time to pause, and then when you come back, we will do the fir trees. Okay, it's time to do our fir trees, okay? Now, we're gonna start off with the light green at the very top, and we're just use little bitty vertical strokes. So I'm just gonna put my hand out, and I'm just gonna do just a little bitty at the top. And then right below it, I'm gonna do some more. And it's gonna get just a little bit wider. I'm gonna keep going down and doing a little bit wider, and they're gonna get just a little bit, the lines are gonna get just a little bit longer, all right? And I'm gonna go across the trunk, side to side. And you see how my lines are getting longer and it's getting wider as well, all right? And we just want to make sure that they have some vertical lines going across, just like that. There you go. Then I'm gonna take my dark green, and right underneath, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna do some vertical lines underneath them. And you can have a little bit of space in between them. You don't have to color up the whole space that's in between the greens right here. But I'm just gonna do little up and down lines. And I'm not gonna get too much bigger with these, but I'm just gonna do some up and down lines, which are vertical. And I'm gonna do it all the way to the bottom till I do the very last one, all right? And there I have my fir tree. Now, here comes the next part to finish the trees up. I'm gonna take a medium type of green, and then I'm just gonna kind of just do some, like I did with the dark green, I'm just gonna kind of go all over the place and do some shading inside my other trees in here, just little spots of green, the medium green, and just do little circles all around in here, so wherever you want to do them, all right? And same thing on your fir tree, just kind of just give it just a little bit of your medium greens in there, and just kind of, it doesn't have to be a whole lot, just a little bit. And you can go over and under your dark and light green, so it doesn't have to be right in the middle of all these things. It can be kind of in the middle as well, between and the white spots. You can show a little bit. And there we have our trees. Now, here comes the fun part. And we're gonna leave this as the last thing. I want you to take a white crayon. Now, in the two diagonal lines that you use to make a river, is I just want you to just kind of draw some lines down there with the white crayon. Make sure that you press really hard. You won't be able to see all your lines, but that's okay. We're going to make them show up in just a little bit, but press really hard and put some lines in there. And that's where we're going to stop for our artwork today. Save this, and we will finish this up next week.